Welcome back to another travel vlog. This time we are in beautiful Leadville, Colorado. Leadville, Colorado sits a little over 10,000 feet, but right now we're camping off of Halfmoon Road, which I believe is just under 10,000 feet. This is a great road to camp off of if you ever want to, or if you want to climb Mount Elbert or Mount Massive. The trailheads are actually maybe like a quarter-mile apart. There are other ways to access both mountains from the other side, but this is definitely one of the key roads to climb up either 14er. And Mount Elbert, of course, is the tallest 14er in Colorado, so it's a very popular spot, especially right now. It's summertime, it's July, it's prime 14er season, and so this road, like, there's so many car camping spots, which just means like you can pull off the road and camp right next to your car. But it can get a little bit crowded on the weekends, so even though there are like tons of like free camping spots, there are a couple other like paid campsites. And so if you're coming from like Denver or something or even from the airport on like a Friday evening, you might want to think about reserving a camping spot just so you have that security of not getting here in the dark and freaking out whether or not you're going to find a camping spot. What do you guys think of my new shades? The color is called Sunbathing with Wizards, and that's pretty much the only reason I got them. Well, technically I did need new sunglasses because there was a screw loose in my other ones and they wouldn't stay tight. But I think part of the reason I got them is so like when I'm having like a hard point of a run, I could just picture Hagrid from Harry Potter, of course, being like, "But you're a wizard, Sandy," and then just coming up with like a spell in my head to get myself out of whatever funk I'm in and start thinking a little bit better. Yep, I just totally gave away how much of a nerd I am, but you know, I'm okay with that. Not sponsored, by the way. I really liked the name of these sunglasses. Although the only one thing I don't like is that you can totally see me filming myself right now. But oh well. One of the paid campgrounds I was talking about, Halfmoon Campground West. And then look at this view. I know it's not as good in the video, so you have to come visit. Damn, I love Colorado, especially this time of year. So if it's this crowded now, you can only imagine what a nice weekend day is like. Alright, here we go. We are now on the Colorado Trail. We're headed towards Mount Elbert, but there is a split in the trail. Probably maybe like a mile from the start for Elbert. But yeah, if you keep going on this section of the Colorado Trail, you'll end up in Twin Lakes, which is such a stunning lake. Two lakes in Colorado, and definitely a very popular spot around here for paddleboarding, fishing, boats, yeah, stuff like that. Here's the Mount Elbert Colorado Trail split. So this way is Mount Elbert, this way you go on the Colorado Trail towards Twin Lakes. You do start off from the Elbert trailhead with like a decent climb, but then after maybe 3/4 to a full mile, it flattens out and it gets more really gentle rolling hills. And that's pretty much the Colorado Trail from here until Twin Lakes. And again, it's such a nice, quiet section. There's not tons of epic views because you are staying below tree line. But after like being in Europe for almost 2 weeks, as much as I love those trails, especially with like the glaciers, and they're just like these epic looking mountains, I love being in Colorado and just being on these nice quiet trails. And yeah, even as much as I love going 14ers, they technically are busier trails, especially in the summer. So just a quiet day on the Colorado Trail, that's exactly what I wanted. So super happy I got it. Sage and I used to shower at this laundromat, but then they raised the shower prices to $8, and so then we bought our own outdoor shower. Coming to Safeway, main grocery store in Leadville, picking up a few things. Second night of camping. There's periodic brewing. How would I describe Leadville as a town? You definitely have your full spectrum of people. At this time of year, you do see a lot of your endurance athletes from mountain biking, regular cycling, tons of ultra runners out here. And you do have that a little bit in the winter too. There's for sure people who live here to be outdoors. But it's interesting. So while you have that, you do have a different feel, kind of with like, I don't know how to say this maybe correctly, but you have people who aren't in kind of that stuff who live here. But whoever lives here, they have to be hardy. Like, this is 10,000 feet, and the winters can get pretty harsh. And it is definitely not your wealthy mountain town like Aspen or Telluride, which I enjoy that about Leadville, because you see, I want to say diversity, but it's really not diverse in a lot of ways. But I appreciate like the different side of mountain towns. It started off as a mining town. It's actually still a mining town, but it used to actually be a very wealthy mountain town. People who were pretty famous used to come and take vacations here, probably because they had stake in some of the mines out here. And actually during the winter there was even like ice palaces, and well, I guess there's one major ice palace they built every year, and yeah, wealthy people from all over came. I think even by like the fish hatchery of here in Leadville, there's signs about the unsinkable Molly Brown, and if you recognize that name, it's because she was on the Titanic, and she had a good role even in the movie Titanic, and yeah, like people came out all the time, but then the mining boom kind of died, and now you kind of have Leadville what it is today. Sage and I just found an epic camping spot. So there's Clear Creek Road, still kind of in the Leadville-ish area, but also getting close to Buena Vista. But then there is our tent, and a little bit past the rocks is a little creek that we have all to ourselves right now, and we're just kind of like sitting, laying out, reading, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then we're also really close to the Missouri Gulch Trailhead and Vicksburg, which I'll show you more later. Taking a tour of the ghost town of Vicksburg. Just imagine this thing back in the day. Ooh, gotta push the button. Welcome to the town of Victoria. Ooh, speaker kind of works.
A few prospectors entered this area in 1861.
Inside.
In 18, and Governor John Evans
Oh yeah, good, you can see something. Oh, that head is scary on the right.
The miners began prospecting. Silver was the most sought after mineral. However, gold and some lead was also evident.
Another more scary heads.
Shipments of ore was made from several
terrifying.
mines. Eastern and British Isle investors helped.
This is pretty cool.
The miners established a camp.
Person talking in the speaker was saying that there used to be 2 saloons here, 2 hotels, a lot of other stuff for the miners. Not too much left anymore, but it's pretty cool the Historical Society preserves some of this. It's fun to picture what this may have used to look like. Day 2 of this camping trip, another beautiful morning. We'll see, it's supposed to rain later, but so far we really lucked out with the weather. As I was saying yesterday, we're camping off of Clear Creek Road, and it's kind of similar to the Halfmoon Road. As we're right off of it, there's tons of free camping spots and pretty nice camping spots. It is a little bit of a quieter area than Halfmoon Road though. And yeah, so we're camped out pretty close to the Missouri Gulch trailhead, but if you go 4 more miles down the road, you will be at what's called Winfield, and a lot of people know that as the halfway or turnaround point of the Leadville Trail 100 mile trail run. Wait, let me say that again. Leadville 100 trail run. And yeah, so that's like a nice like open field, and there's also some older historic cabins that are pretty cool to see too. And from that point, or close by, is also the Colorado Trail. Like if you kept, like the nice part of the road kind of like stops there, but then straight and then left are 2 like 4-wheeler or jeep roads. So if you go straight, you'll run into the Colorado Trail, and you can also climb La Plata Peak that way, which is another 14er, although that's definitely not the main route. And so if you go that way, you have to do your research before you actually go up La Plata. But then if you turn left on the other road is take you to one of my favorite 14ers. It's definitely one of the easier ones, but I just think it's so beautiful, and that's Huron Peak, another 14er. But with that road, so that gets rough fairly quickly, and I never actually drive all the way to the trailhead because I'm too afraid of the car damage. But honestly, that road is really pretty anyway, because you're kind of like in this beautiful valley, and so I don't mind the extra mile or so it takes to hike in or run to the trailhead. And let me think, what else? Oh, and so that was 4 miles west, I think, from where we are now. If you go back east from where we drove in, there is a nice lake out there, and it is less crowded than some of the other lakes around here. So you get a paddleboard, take a kayak. People do have little motorized boats, and yeah. Oh, speaking of lakes, I'm not sure on this. Like, this is a pretty short trip. This is our second and only, our last night here. But if you're in the Leadville area, I highly, highly recommend checking out Twin Lakes or Turquoise Lakes. They are both lakes you can drive right up to, but they're both pretty stunning, and there's trails around both that you can hike. And whether you just want to go for a picnic or to lay out along the lake or go paddleboarding or whatever, like, they're definitely worth checking out. Man, I suck so bad at these transitions. Yeah, anyway, hiking up Missouri Gulch, and check in with you later. is Missouri, and across this way is Belford and Oxford. Well, you can only see the one. And I don't know if you can see this. If I zoom in, you can see people heading up the ridgeline. And so even though I took Elkhead Pass, the other trail is pretty close. It's actually getting a little bit cloudy right now, so I've already done all 3 mountains in a day, and because it's getting cloudy and I'm worried, like I know it's supposed to storm today, and I know because of my back I can't run downhill as fast as I normally could. Just not worth it to keep going up, so I'm pretty satisfied with what I did today. My back held up quite well on the uphill, and it's stunning out here, like the flowers, and this is just such a pretty mountain range. I love this part of the Swatch range, also part of Nolan's 14. And yeah, so it's time to head back down, and hopefully Sage will catch up to me on the way so he doesn't get caught in the storm either. So I just got back from my hike, and I was actually able to run a little bit on the downhill, which I was super stoked about. But it's actually just starting to rain now, so I was happy I turned around early, but I need to cut this short because I need to take down the tent before it gets too wet, and then it just being soaked in my car, because that's not fun. But yeah, before I want to go, I did want to say that I did see the comments on the Chamonix vlog that people wanted to see a travel vlog of Boulder, and that is definitely on my list of things to do. But honestly, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it because I need to go to Ohio for family obligations next week, and then when I get back, this is mountain season, and so I want to be up high as much as possible, and the time I am in Boulder, it's normally coaching and just working and getting in the runs when I can. But yeah, okay, it's starting to rain hard now, so I need to go. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I hope you enjoy getting to come on some of these adventures with me. I'm having a lot of fun with it, so yeah, thanks for coming along. Poor Sage got soaked. Always wanted to be dramatic. Out there.
Good thing I didn't go to Missouri. I had a rain jacket. Got kind of cold. It hailed on top of Oxford.
Always bring a rain jacket in the mountains.
It's cold down here. I'm cold.